Kylie Kelce reveals due date timeline for fourth baby girl with Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce and Kylie Kelce's home is about to get a little more full. The couple got married in 2018 and have 3 daughters together and are expecting a new bundle of joy to enter their family. In a recent episode of Kylie's podcast Not Gonna Lie, she told fans that nearly 9 months pregnant.
Another clue that the baby is due soon is that she said that she is about to have 3 birthdays very close together. Their daughters Elliot, 4, and Bennett, 2, were born in March 2021 and February 2023. Wyatt, 5, was born in October.
19. In the past week, Kylie has been sharing some more news about her 4th child, including a name she's thinking of. Kylie revealed that she considering the name Andy for their 4th daughter, inspired by Kate Hudson's character Andy Anderson in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is one of my favorite movies of all time, but absolutely my favorite rom-com, Kylie said in the teaser for her interview with Hudson. We've even considered Andy as a name for our 4th girl. Our first is Wyatt, our second is Elliot, our third is Bennett, and we were like, Andy would fit in there and it would be so cool. Hudson gave Kylie her approval over the name, gushing, Andy would be so cute. I love that. Kylie and Jason are a huge fan of gender-neutral names and wants to continue the tradition with her 4th child. I feel like we have to lean a little bit towards those sort of gender-neutral names for our 4th because we have Wyatt, Elliot, Bennett, she said in a previous episode of Not Gonna Lie. So if we do a full commit to a girly name at this point, it would not sit well with the other 3, I think. Eventually they'll be like, why did they get a cute girly name? Kylie revealed why the 2 decided to expand their family. Jason was always like, I'll do whatever you want to do. And I was always in the camp of I wanted 4 with room for 1 pleasant surprise, Kylie shared on her podcast, which I really think we got to 3. And I was like, 3 is cool. This feels good. Then we got out of the rough baby sleeping and all that. And then I was just like, you know what? I really like even numbers, she added. The couple went viral when they shared a photo of their 3 daughters with different reactions to the news that they will be big sisters. I feel like we captured a very accurate representation of how each of the girls feel about getting another sister, Kylie wrote in the Instagram caption. At least Ellie, Mum and Dad are on the same page. Kylie added that after this baby, though, she's probably done. I think it might get shut down after. This one, she said, we're going to have this next kid and I'm going to be like, don't even look at me, just eyes at the floor. Don't look at me. Why Taylor Swift was anxious about Travis Kelce retirement. The Super Bowl was a month ago, but even now more information is being released on how those closest to the game were feeling. When the Kansas City Chiefs lost 40-22 to the Philadelphia Eagles, many Chiefs players and families were impacted by the devastating result. Travis Kelce, who is a tight end on the Chiefs, was juggling his thoughts about retirement up until last week. I got a bad taste in my mouth for how I ended the year and how well I was playing and how accountable I was for the people around me, Kelce said on his New Heights podcast, that he co-hosts with his brother Jason Kelce, who is a retired Philadelphia Eagles center. I feel like there's a responsibility in me to play out the contract that I initially signed, to give Kansas City and the Chiefs organization everything that I got, and that's what I'm going to do, man. Taylor Swift, who Kelce has been dating since 2023, and the superstar came to support her boyfriend, it did not go according to plan. Despite the results not working in either of their favor, Swift was booed by the crowd when she was shown on the Jumbotron. And don't forget that not-so-great moment at the Super Bowl when Taylor got booed. It really took a toll on her self-esteem, Radar Online's insider revealed. Travis claims it was just rival fans being jerks, but you can't blame her for feeling a bit picked on. It's only natural for her to worry about being the scapegoat if he hangs up his cleats. Now that it's settled that Kelce will remain on the Chiefs at least for another year, Swift was worried about what a retirement would be perceived by the public. According to the Radar Online, Cruel Summer Singer was worried that fans would think she was pushing him to retire. However, It was still Kelce's decision, despite him wanting Swift's opinion on what he should do. He has mentioned that he isn't very superstitious, but he has discussed with Taylor that this year would be his 13th year in the NFL, her favorite number, a source told the Daily Mail at the time. And they have talked about how cool it would be for Bob Uecker, Hall of Famer and legendary broadcaster, dies at 90 for a backup catcher with limited physical talent. Bob Uecker enjoyed a larger-than-life career in baseball and beyond, due in large part to an uncanny ability to laugh at himself. Uecker, a baseball icon, television and movie funny man, and Hall of Fame Milwaukee Brewers radio announcer, died Thursday at the age of 90, following a private battle with small cell lung cancer, his family said in a statement. Ueck was the light of the Brewers, the soundtrack of our summers, the laughter in our hearts, and his passing is a profound loss, the team said in a statement. He was the heart and soul of Wisconsin and a dear friend. Bob loved people. His presence warmed every room, and he had a way of welcoming all of us into his world as if we were lifelong friends. Known affectionately as Mr. Baseball, Uecker hit just 200 for his career and played only 6 seasons. Yet his infectious personality made him a valued teammate in the clubhouse, even if he wasn't contributing much on the field. Despite all the jokes about his playing career, Uecker was a member of the St. Louis Cardinals, a team led by Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Gibson that won the World Series in 1964. He brought joy to countless listeners through his wit, charisma, and love for baseball, Milwaukee, and all of Wisconsin, creating a legacy that will forever be cherished, the Uecker family said in a statement Thursday. While his contributions to the game are noteworthy, it is his kindness, humility, and love for family and friends that we will hold closest to our hearts. Bob Uecker's undistinguished MLB career. Uecker reached the majors in 1962 as a 28-year-old rookie catcher with his hometown Milwaukee Braves. He played 2 seasons in Milwaukee before being traded to the Cardinals in 1964. He was traded twice, more before his career ended, to the Philadelphia Phillies in 1965 and then back to the Braves, who by then in 1967 had moved to Atlanta. Over 843 plate appearances in 6 seasons, Uecker hit .200, .293, .287 with 14 home runs and 74 RBI. While offense wasn't his strong suit, he wasn't very good defensively either. In 1967, he led the National League in both passed balls, 27, and errors by a catcher, 11. To be fair, his frequent battery mate on that Braves team was knuckleballer Phil Niekro, who provided the basis for one of Uecker's many memorable quotes. When asked the secret to catching a knuckleball, Uecker replied matter-of-factly, "I wait until it stops rolling and go pick it up." Not long after his playing career ended, Uecker joined the Brewers radio broadcast team, where his folksy style and self-deprecating humor made him an almost instant hit with fans. The 2024 season marked Uecker's 54th as a Brewers broadcaster. Uecker became known to millions more from his appearances on NBC's Tonight Show with host Johnny Carson. Starting in 1971, he appeared approximately 100 times as a guest on the show, frequently cracking up Carson with his deadpan delivery. "Sporting goods companies would pay me not to endorse their products," he once quipped. Uecker's popularity helped land him a starring role in the situation comedy Mr. Belvedere. Uecker played the role of sports writer and family patriarch George Owens on the show, which ran on ABC television from 1985 to 1990. Uecker's personality also made him a perfect pitchman in a series of immensely popular beer commercials for Miller Lite starting in the 1980s. Among the ad stable of current and former sports stars, Uecker stood out for his comedic timing and his ability to deliver iconic lines. Perhaps the most famous one came when he's seen at a ballpark watching a baseball game. When an usher comes along and asks him to move out of his seat, Uecker exclaims excitedly, "I must be in the front row." However, he turns out to be not quite as important as he thinks, and finds himself in perhaps the worst seat in the stadium, far away from the action. As a result, a new term for the so-called nosebleed section of a stadium was born: euchre seats. In fact, a plaque and life-size figure of euchre were placed on the last row of section 422 in Milwaukee's American Family Field, then Miller Park. In 2014, in commemoration, Wecker continued to broadcast Brewers games, even as he was expanding his portfolio as an actor. Occasionally, the two merged into one. Wecker was cast as baseball play-by-play announcer Harry Doyle in the 1989 movie Major League, giving an over-the-top performance that was largely ad-libbed. Among his memorable lines, Haywood crushes one towards South America, and after an incredibly wild pitch that was all but impossible for the catcher to grab, just a bit outside. In addition to many television guest appearances and voiceover cameos as himself, Uecker hosted a syndicated sports blooper show called Bob Uecker's Wacky World of Sports that ran from 1985-96, and another called Bob Uecker's War of the Stars.